I'm Melissa Chandler, and welcome to After the Unthinkable, a podcast where I share what it's like to survive the things you think you can't survive and how to move forward one step at a time. Today, I want to talk about the loop. You know, the one where a thought gets in your head and it will not leave, and you turn it over and over trying to solve it. And you think about it the moment you wake up, and at breakfast, and in the car, and in the shower, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you are not actually getting anywhere. You are just going around and around in circles in your brain. So, full disclosure, I have been in one recently. So, this is definitely not a lecture from someone who has figured it out. This is just what I have learned from being stuck in it, to be honest. I think people who have survived something devastating are especially prone to this. I definitely don't think it's exclusive to people who have gone through trauma, but I do think people who have experienced trauma of any kind in their life are more prone to this. And I don't think it's a character flaw. I think there's a reason for it. I think when something really awful happens in your life, I think your brain learns a hard lesson. It learns that terrible things arrive without warning, and it decides that its job, your brain's job from now on, is to see the next one coming. So it scans constantly. It runs every scenario. It rehearses every conversation. It looks for the thing that might go wrong so that you can brace for it. And sometimes it comes off to other people as outsiders. If you share those feelings, it comes off as being dramatic, but it's not you being dramatic. It is it's your nervous system doing exactly what it learned to do to keep you alive. The problem is that it doesn't work. Rehearsing a disaster does not prevent it. And I can tell you that because I have rehearsed every disaster over and over and over and over and over, and it just doesn't prevent it. All it does is it just means that you live through it in advance over and over and over for something that may never happen at all. Here is the mistake I tend to make every single time. I try to think my way out. I treat the loop like a problem that has a solution. And I believe in my mind that if I can just get to the right answer, I'll finally feel settled and it will stop. Like I try to solve the problem, and I think if I can just get to the solution, think of the worst case scenario. What will I do if this happens? That the loop will stop. But the truth is, it never stops. It never stops because the loop is not actually asking a question. It is not looking for an answer. If you give it one, it will find a new angle and start all over again. Arguing with the loop is what keeps the loop alive. I wish I had learned that sooner, but I have recently realized that. So here's what I actually do now. It's not sophisticated, but it works better than reasoning. One, I decide once on purpose. So what I mean is, what I do is, here's what you could do, okay? Sit down when you're relatively calm and settle the question with facts. Write down what you actually know to be true, not what you feel, what you actually know. That is your ruling. And once you have made it, the case is closed. That's it. 2, do not reopen it. When the thought comes back, and it will, you do not debate it. You say 2 words to yourself. Already decided. That's it. You do not review the evidence. You do not check if you still agree. You already handled it, so move on. That's it. Just move on. 3, move your hands within a minute. This is the most important one and the one people skip. A loop needs an idle body. So what you need to do to get out of the loop is do something physical quickly. Wash the dishes, go for a walk, hang the curtains you've been meaning to hang, fold laundry, get in the car and do an errand. I walk, I do diamond art, I decorate my home, I do all kinds of things, not because it fixes anything, but because a busy body starves the loop. So 4, give it an appointment, okay? Give your loop an appointment. If it will not leave, tell it when you will deal with it. I will think about this Thursday at 4 o'clock. It sounds silly, but it works way more often than it should. It takes the urgency out of it without pretending that the thought doesn't exist. And this works for me really well. It's like You schedule an appointment for your worry. And sometimes by the time that appointment comes, you're like over it. So, and then 5, change rooms. Loops are partly environmental. So if you have been sitting in the same chair spinning for an hour, the chair is now part of the problem. Get up, go outside, or go anywhere else than where you're at right at this moment. So I want to be honest about 2 things. The first is that this in no way makes the thought disappear. It does come back. That's not failure. You just run the same play again. And it does get quieter each time you refuse to argue with it. The second is that if you are looping for weeks at a time and nothing touches it, that is worth talking to someone about, a doctor or a counselor or something like that. In my opinion, I am not a counselor, a doctor, a therapist, anything like that. But I think that there are people whose actual job is helping with this. And sometimes they can help and give good advice and good perspective. And I mean, there's no price for white knuckling it alone. Boy, have I learned that. I say that as someone who waited far too long to ask for that kind of help myself. So the loop is not you thinking, it is you spinning. And you can put it down without solving it. Already decided, then go move your hands. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for listening to After the Unthinkable. I will be back soon with another episode, but until then, keep going. You are stronger than you think.